These 5 rookies will have the biggest impact on their NBA teams. Now, if you guys have been subscribed to me, you guys know that I have been huge on the 2024 draft class. And there has been a lot of negative discourse around the 2024 NBA draft class. And I think that instead of saying this draft class is weaker, I would say the star-studded talent may not be as high as other recent draft classes. For example, you have Victor Wembanyama for 2023, Paolo Banchero for 2022, and you also have Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball in 2020. But if you take away the top 5 picks in this NBA draft, there are star-studded role players in every single portion of this draft, maybe from 10 to 15, from 30 to 35, or even 45 to 50. And for impactful, I just want to say that my 5 rookies are all on teams that are, barring injury, should be in the playoffs next season. And these 5 rookies are Zach Edey, Dalton Knecht, Tristan da Silva, Robert Dillingham, and Kel'el Ware. Now let's start out the video talking about Zach Edey. Now, I don't completely know if Zach Edey is 7'3 or 7'4. All we know is that he's tall as shit. And I think his particular skill set that he can bring to the Memphis Grizzlies is pretty unique. And we look at the NBA and how they're kind of shifting towards the double big lineups and they're kind of going away from small ball. I think Zach Edey fits perfectly next to Jaren Jackson. And even if he does not start the first day, I think Zach Edey will end up starting by maybe the All-Star break. Zach Edey is the type of guy who in his first season can come in and give you 13 points, maybe 9 rebounds, and a block and a half a game. With the amount of screening that he will be able to produce for John Morant to get him open lanes to the rim, maybe open floaters, or maybe have defenses collapse on him more to get open shots for guys like Desmond Bane, Vince Williams, and Marcus Smart. And the glass cleaning ability that he has. We all know Jaren Jackson Jr. is not the best rebounder. I think Zach Edey is going to clean up the Memphis Grizzlies rebounding tremendously. Now, the only few concerns I have for Zach Edey is I don't know how he's going to be in the pick and roll. I don't think he's fast-footed enough to be able to cover a pick and roll or maybe stunt at the guard and then come back to his big in time enough to impact the shot. Or I don't think in space he's going to be able to guard any wings or any point guards, which not a lot of big men can, but I just don't think he's particularly good in that setting. But the best part about him being drafted to the Memphis Grizzlies is Jaren Jackson can cover pretty well in pick and roll, and he's great in help. So I think Zach Edey's in the perfect situation for him to make a big enough impact and be in Rookie of the Year conversation. The next player we're going to be talking about is Dalton Knecht. Now, Dalton Knecht is another player I think is going to be amazing for the Lakers this season. When we talk about a 22-year-old rookie who is 6'6" and can shoot the lights out from 3, this is a player that is perfect for JJ Redick to mold. I think he's going to get a lot of minutes for the Los Angeles Lakers, who were last in the league in 3-point attempts per game. I think he's going to get a lot of open looks, therefore playing next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And we saw in the Summer League that jump shot can fall. And he also impressed me with his passing and his on-ball ability, how to shoot off the dribble. I don't think he's going to be doing too much of that because I think when he is in the game, there's going to be primary ball handlers around like Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, LeBron James. But I think he can be one of the better off-ball players in the league, especially with a coach like JJ Redick, who has played in that role throughout his entire career. I think he's going to get Dalton Knecht some pretty open looks. I think the Miami Heat are going to start molding Kel'el Ware into that starting center next to Bam Adebayo as soon as he walks in the building. When we look at Kel'el Ware's game, he's athletic, he's a lob finisher, he's a shot blocker, he can stretch the floor at times. And I think playing next to a top 5 defender in the league in Bam Adebayo is going to heighten his game defensively so much more. And with the Miami Heat lacking the size that they do, they're definitely going to need Kel'el Ware when they're playing teams like the Bucks with Giannis, the Sixers with Embiid, the Cavs with that lengthy front court in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. And we saw even more in and Eric Spoelstra, their head coach, saw it firsthand what Bam Adebayo can do defensively with another elite defender next to him in Anthony Davis. And I think Kel'el Ware is going to start getting molded defensively the second he walks in the door. And I definitely think he's athletic enough to guard wings in space. I think he's athletic enough to be versatile on defense and to really cover multiple spots on the floor as he's standing in one. I think if Tristan da Silva can knock down his shots very early in the season, he's going to find a very big role for the Orlando Magic. Now, we all saw the first round in the playoffs that the Orlando Magic were struggling outside against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in a 7-game series, when you're going games with shooting under 25% from 3 as a team, you're going to really try and fish out some guys who can knock you're going to really try and find some players who are going to hit outside shots. And I think Tristan da Silva has that all over his game, especially being one of the older rookies. He's going to take the right shots. He's going to make the better pass. He's going to make that extra pass to get the better shots. And even with the Orlando Magic signing KCP this offseason, I don't think that completely fixes their shooting overnight. With his on-ball ability, with his size, the effort he showed in defense in Summer League. I mean, this is a guy who averaged 17 points in 3 games and had 83% from true shooting. Don't be surprised if playoff time comes around and he's carved out 15 to 20 minutes in a rotation. Now, I think this can go either one or two ways for Rob Dillingham. As we all know, height and weight regards, he is on the smaller side. Luckily, he will not be starting, and he probably will not be the starting point guard until maybe his second or third season. But when we look at a guy that's that small, we kind of want to just see if he can play make and if he can hit the outside shot. Luckily for Rob Dillingham, his efficiency was not the best in Summer League, but in Kentucky, he was a very good outside shooter. And he showed in the Summer League that he can really get open looks for his guys around him. And I think when he has kind of those short minutes roles towards the beginning of the season, we want to just see if you can create for guys around you and you can hit the outside shot. I think he's always going to be playing with Anthony Edwards or Karl Anthony Towns. And we kind of saw when it came to the playoffs that Anthony Edwards was kind of the lead creator when it comes for getting players open around him. And I think that's why he got drafted or traded for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But at the guard position, he can definitely be that scoring punch that the Minnesota Timberwolves have not had. So those are my top 5 guys who will make the biggest impact for their teams this season. If you guys like this list, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys disagree with my list, feel free to hit the comments and tell me why you disagree with it and who you think I should have had in the top 5. And if you guys like this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.